Welcome to Baby and Us, short videos to help you feel calm, confident and connected with your new baby. My name's Claire.
And my name's Catherine.
And you'll meet some of our amazing parent group leaders who will share experiences of life with their own new babies.
Now we're going to think about your experience of giving birth. And this is something that people may have experienced very differently to others. Some people, it will have been a very positive experience. They'll look back on it with very positive emotions. For other people, it may not be positive. It may feel quite traumatic to think about your experience of giving birth. For some people, it will be a very quick process. For others, it will have been very long, maybe over several days. Just to say, as you think about your experience of giving birth, every experience is valid, every feeling is valid, and we encourage you to pause the video and to think what it was like, maybe think of a timeline of what happened.
So it is really helpful to sort of piece things back together again, because it's an important event for us as parents.
When I had him, he was taken off to intensive care. I didn't get to see him. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know if he'd be okay. You hear all these stories about these rush of emotion when you have this baby, like this connection, this love that you have for this child. But I sat there on the bed knowing that I'd had a child, but felt nothing. It was really horrible.
The first word that I would say to describe my last birthing experience would be sad. I felt really sad because I had a birthing plan that completely did not go to plan at all, and I really wanted to have a home birth, but unfortunately on that night it wasn't possible. The midwives were busy, and so I had to go to plan B, and so I was a little bit sad, a bit disappointed, but in those circumstances you just kind of move on. And then my other feeling is just the feeling of complete and utter joy when my baby was born, and just having that skin-to-skin contact immediately, and just feeling so elated and so joyful that this precious life was in the world.
I was very happy that I was expecting 2 babies in a few moments. I'm going to have 2, and also very happy because of that, but I was in real pain. And sometimes I feel very sad because I miss my family in those critical moments in my life.
So just think about maybe 3 feelings that describe your experience of giving birth. We have things like blissful, shocked, scared, happy, fearful, and out of control. You may have felt satisfied or relieved and elated. It's very common immediately after the birth and in the following weeks and months to have feelings of anxiety about that experience, to experience different types of moods. So that is common, but if you find that these feelings are becoming overwhelming, then please do seek help and speak to somebody about them, whether it's your GP, your health visitor, or somebody else.
And that really takes us nicely on, Catherine, to thinking about kind of the recovery post-birth, and thinking about what have you done as a new parent to recover from the birth experience. And that's from a physical health point of view and a sort of mental well-being. So we just want you to take a moment to think about that. If you struggle with your mental health, or you think you'd find it helpful, you may want to consider making a plan around your post-birth recovery in terms of your mental health and your physical health. So what sort of things could be in the plan? What might be helpful is to have a sort of split it into 3. what do I need to look out for? What helps me usually to keep well? Who and how will I ask for help? Because we know when we're not feeling good, it's much harder to actually ask for help and reach out. So in terms of the sorts of things to look out for, you could think about and pay attention to your thoughts and feelings. Are they particularly more negative than usual? Are we having a lot more low moods? Are we more tearful? And are we concerned about this? We might want to pay a close attention to our interactions with our baby, interactions with our partner, family, friends, and if they're any different at all. Thinking about our motivation to take care of our baby, our own basic needs, motivation to do things that we previously really enjoyed. We also might want to think about our sleeping habits and our eating habits and how erratic they might be. And obviously with the newborns, there is going to be an element of erratic behaviour in terms of sleep and eating, because you'll sort of be running on the clock of the baby rather than your usual routine. And then what about the things that we find helpful? Things like mindfulness, a nice bath with lavender scent, music, a good meal, anything that we usually find helpful. And so these could be our go-to things when we know we're feeling a bit vulnerable. And then the final bit is in terms of asking for help. So it might just be simply a list of people we know we can call on. This might be family, friends, our partner, a health visitor, a GP. And then there might be some specific instructions that we might want to give, such as, I'd really like it if you can give me a ring at least once a week. I think that would be helpful for me. I might need a few more hugs if you notice I'm feeling a bit more vulnerable, or I might need a bit of validation and a bit of reassurance that I'm doing okay. See if you can put together a plan for yourself that will help you in terms of your mental health and your physical health.
Right, now we want to ask you to have a think about any discoveries that you've made about yourself since having your baby. So you may want to think about discoveries about yourself, also about your baby. Have a think too about discoveries you've made about your family and your partner. So maybe things that you might have discovered about your relationship. And think about any changes that you've made or any adaptations that you might have made to your lifestyle, but also about yourself. And it can be very normal for a lot of change to happen when you have a baby. And it's really good to reflect on that and think, okay, what has changed? What have I adapted? What have I needed to change to be able to look after my baby since they've come into my life?
He was left in hospital and I went home. He was 10 weeks premature, and I was really, really young. So whilst he was in hospital, I was getting on with my life. I was going up to visit him every day, but it didn't hamper on my life. My life didn't change. I was a mum, but I didn't act like a mum, and I sure as hell didn't feel like a mum. So when I had to bring him home, my whole life in the blink of an eye changed. I had this little person depending on me.
I discovered so much about myself. I really thought I was a very spontaneous, easygoing person, and I think, that is the heart of who I am. But I've realised just how much I need routines, and I need to know what's happening.
I think I deserve it. I deserve to be happy. That's what I have discovered about myself. I'm strong, I'm patient, I'm a very tolerant person, and I have a lot of things that I can give. I'm a very caring person. Sometimes I feel bad because of lack of sleeping, lack of finding time for myself, but I still made it.
So that brings us to the end of today's session. We really thank you for joining us.
We hope this has been helpful. Bye-bye.